Many Mainers are scrambling following Northern Light Health's decision to drop Humana from its Medicare Advantage network.
Grace Bradley spoke to one woman to hear how that change is affecting her.
It's a scary time for Maine.
Bangor resident Dawn Dubois battles a rare neuromuscular syndrome, as well as multiple autoimmune disorders. She is just one patient who has received care-altering news.
I got 9 letters in the mail that all said the same thing, that all said that Northern Light and any provider, Eastern Maine Medical Center, that I've used are no longer going to be accepting Humana as of September 30th. It's in the middle of the year. It's in the middle of an insurance cycle as far as each Medicare year goes.
In a statement given to TV5, Northern Light cites numerous administrative issues, which led to the termination of the Humana Medicare Advantage plan at their hospitals.
And they gave me the name of a PCP that I would be assigned to. I said, all right, well, I called, and they said, oh, well, that PCP is leaving September 4th.
The lack of primary care providers is something Dubois says she has seen the effects of in her neighbor.
She had been very sick. The neighbor knew she was having a hard time breathing, but she couldn't get into a PCP. She passed away at home. I feel bad for those that don't even know where to start, that are going through a phone book, calling each office, and they're saying, I'm sorry, we're not accepting new patients. With knowing how lacking this area is right now with primary care providers and those that are accepting new patients, that is wrong and should be called out immediately. I feel like it's dollars over patients, quite honestly.
Grace Bradley, WABI, TV5 News, Bangor.
In a statement, Humana says they are open to further good faith discussions with Northern Light concerning their coverage for those on Medicare. At the same time, they say, quote, we must ensure our contracted hospitals and physicians provide both quality and cost-effective care. For the full statements from both Humana and Northern Light Health, you can visit our website.